Is it acceptable to say anal on YouTube? We're going for it.
It's almost 2 in the morning and I can't sleep. So I decided I was gonna vlog my experience reading the Nashville Neighborhood series, and I mean, what better time to start than 2 in the morning on a Monday when I need to get up for work in like 5 hours. So the first book in the series is The Doctor. The series is by Nikki Sloane. I think everybody has read it at this point. And already we have not only the sexual tension that I crave, but we also have our first steamy scene out of the way. And I think that this is going to be an experience. I'm like so looking forward to this series because I've heard it's like rather titillating, for want of a better word. So yeah, like, we're doing it. I'm getting serious Your Dad Will Do vibes, and I fucking loved Your Dad Will Do. So I'm living, I'm laughing, I'm loving. Keep you up to date with the progress. I'm supposed to be getting ready for work. I am not. I decided to read a chapter while I was eating breakfast, and I can't stop. The Doctor and Cassidy have just done the deed, and that was a spectacularly written sex scene, and I just want to stay home and read the rest of the book. I am not gonna lie, I've never wanted to go to work less than I do right this very second. This was such a wise choice. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna die. This is gonna be the day that takes me. I'm not even gonna be able to read when I get home. I am so tired. My bones hurt. I've pulled the muscles in between my ribs, and I am not vibing whatsoever. My makeup's all falling off too because I've been sweating so bad. Living my best life. Good morning. It's Tuesday. Excuse all of this. I'm just getting ready for work. Further update on the Doctor by Nikki Sloane. So I know that I've said about authors in the past, like being the kings or queens of writing sex scenes, and it changes quite frequently. I come across an author and I'm like, wow, that is like the ultimate. I love it. I was wrong so many times. So I read The Initiation by Nikki Sloane and I DNF'd it because I just didn't like it, okay? I didn't stick around long enough to get to any proper like steamy scenes or anything like that, so I had no experience, no prior experience until The Doctor. This book is going to be the death of me. I swear it is going to be the death of me. I have never, ever read sex scenes that were written so unbelievably well. Dirty talk often makes me cringe in books because it's done kind of cheesily. Not in this one. No. It's just so perfect. I am a wee bit shook, to be perfectly honest, because I had heard that these were good and that they were like really spicy and that like they were amazing, but I didn't realise just how much I was going to enjoy it until I actually started reading it. So I'm like halfway through The Doctor at the minute, and I have to say, like, I literally have nothing negative to say so far at all whatsoever. I think one thing I'm really enjoying is the fact that sometimes when you get an age gap, you can often get the heroine being quite immature. But with Nikki Sloane, and also with Katie Robert and Penelope Douglas, their age gap romances, they manage to maintain that sense of maturity even in the younger protagonist. Because I feel like sometimes it's lost a bit and they come across kind of like spoiled brats, and not like brats in a kind of dom sub fashion, just bratty in general and really immature and selfish and just, stuff. But this is like so good. I'm really frustrated that I need to go to work because I've just read another chapter there and I don't want to leave. Okay, so you know how I said the place was essentially a building site? Well, in the short period of time that we've been back and actually like getting stuff together and putting stuff out, tidying, building furniture, etc., etc., like the area that I work in looks so unbelievably good. I'm really proud looking at it because there's only been like two of us working on it full time, and the other person's been in and out because they have another job to do as well. And we've got so many things done so quickly, and it just looks great. And I know it's something pure sad to be like excited about because my job isn't actually exciting, but I do enjoy seeing things like coming together. So it's going to be very sleek, very new, very modern, and I'm getting good vibes. I'm getting really, really good vibes. But one thing I am a bit scared of is I know that when the other places have been done up, like the other branches, they have been so busy because they've got done up. People are more interested in the place, or it's see what's new, and then it's just been so busy. And while I like working under pressure, I feel like I work better under pressure. I am still a wee bit nervous that it's going to be a bit much to keep up with. But that's a story for another day. I'm gonna go and get ready. I thought I could do this on the phone, but I just realised I sat my phone on top of my makeup, and my tripod broke. I was so unbelievably raging. I had my tripod about 3 weeks and then it broke. Like nothing even happened to it. I literally put my phone in it and it just fell apart. I tried to fix it, but it was beyond repair, really, if I'm being perfectly honest, beyond repair. But that is why, what's that phrase? Buy cheap, buy twice? That's not the phrase, but it's like words to that effect. Not always true in every case, but definitely true in this case. So don't buy a cheap tripod because like it'll just die. Update. What was I gonna say? Right, so it's been a day. It's been physically grueling, and when I say grueling, I mean grueling with a capital G. So I haven't got any further forward with the doctor because I haven't had a chance to sit down and read. This is literally the first time I've sat down today. I got up at 7 o'clock this morning. It is now like 8 p.m. and I'm just home. Because I had to drop kids off, go to work, do work, pick kids up, do stuff with kids, and then I'm finally home. So tonight's plan, apparently all I've got left of the book is 1 hour, one singular hour. So I am gonna get that finished, and then I'm gonna start the Pool Boy. However, I am supposed to be buddy reading the third ACOTAR book with Bethany and Megan. So I'm like, do I just continue reading this stage just now and then read the rest of A Court of Mist and Flames, or whatever the fuck it's called, A Court of something and something? I don't know what to do, I don't know yet, so my brain hurts. Yeah. So that's where I'm at right now. All I know for definite is I'm going to finish the Doctor tonight, and I'm probably going to start the Pool Boy. The good thing is they're not particularly long, so I should be able to get through them quite quickly. I'm saying this when it's been taking me ages to read the fucking Doctor, which was only supposedly 2 hours and 40 minutes long. But like I said, I'm a busy woman, I have a busy life, and I'm reading them on Kindle. It'd be different if it was on audio. I could just put it on and then go about my business. But sadly, I bought them on Kindle instead, so I am e-reading. I'm very, very on edge. I don't know if it's like coming through this kind of manic energy, but like I feel I need to calm down, to be perfectly honest. Excuse this, I'm in the process of getting ready for work and I look like shit. Okay, so I finished the Doctor and I loved it like a lot. So I'm gonna reposition. Right, hello. Right, so I had seen when I was marking the book as finished on Goodreads that Riley Marie had referred to the Doctor as the middle ground between Birthday Girl and Your Dad Will Do, and you know what? That describes it perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. Now, I loved Birthday Girl, but obviously that was a slow burn romance, and I loved Your Dad Will Do, but obviously that was more on the kind of erotica side of things. So this fell firmly in the middle, where you had the romance going through it, you had lots of feelings, you had lots of emotions, there was a lot of touch and go moments, and there was also like a heavy dose of smut. But. And do you know what? Not only did I enjoy the themes and topics explored and whatever, but it was really well written as well. And I loved that. So sex scenes are hard to write, particularly if you have a lot of sex scenes in the one book, because if you are writing them over and over and over again, they can become sloppy, they can become repetitive, and then they kind of lose that kind of excitement, and they're not as sort of stimulating, and you will start to skim read, because I've read books before where there's been so many sex scenes in it that I've just started to skim read and I've not cared about it. But this was so perfectly spaced out. Like, there was no point where I was like, oh my god, seriously, again? And there was no point where I was thinking, oh my god, hurry up, come on, we need to get to like something a bit steamier than what we're at. I genuinely loved it. Alongside that as well, I don't actually recall in recent memory reading a romance that didn't have any triggers in it or content warnings. I can't think. I'll need to double check, but I'm pretty sure that I don't have any content warnings for it. I started the Pool Boy last night. I'm enjoying it so far, loving the premise, loving how it was set up, loving the whole pool house situation. And I don't know if this is going to be like an overarching theme throughout the 3 books, right? But I'm going to use the term more seriously this time instead of like as a wind up. But I noticed that in I'm going to sneeze. I noticed the Doctor, there was like discussion about how her dad wasn't there in her life or there for her growing up. So like, without the term daddy issues being used, like that seemed to be like an influencing factor in what was happening, but it didn't take away from their relationship and romance unfolding. And with the pool boy, obviously you have a woman who is divorced, whose husband has been cheating on her for an extended period of time with a man, which has left her feeling kind of bad about herself, which can obviously affect you psychologically, which obviously can affect you mentally, and she is now starting to develop this interest in her friend's son. So I think that the overarching theme throughout these things are how, but at least in the first two books, the female characters have issues there that are kind of that they are dealing with through the relationships. Like, it could just be me, maybe it's not that deep, but that's how I'm viewing it. Once I've read The Architect, I'll be able to make a more kind of sound judgment on that front. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm seeing it at the minute. I'm feeling like there's not only the romance and the sort of erotica side of things, but also personal growth, personal development, personal healing from our heroines, you know. I'm gonna go get ready for work and then read some of the Pool Boy on the bus. Hope that nobody is looking over my shoulder. I don't wanna go to work. I just wanna bang on the smug all day.
Hello, lads. It's still whatever day it was this morning when I filmed a clip. It's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? No, it's Thursday. I like the Pool Boy. I'm fond of the Pool Boy. I approve of the Pool Boy. Also Erica, I'm a fan. I think I read like a chapter in the bus and then I got too embarrassed because I thought I heard the person behind me clear the throat as if to say like they could see what I was reading, so quickly put that back in my bag. I am really excited about seeing how this plays out because like you have the best friend like forcing her to go out and have an affair, forcing her to get with somebody, and you as the reader are just sitting there going, no, please stop. And like I'm quite concerned that once the two of them sleep together, the best friend is gonna ask to know about the guy that she's seeing and sleeping with. I hope that it doesn't happen, but like I'm just visualizing the conversation where you have slept with your friend's son and you're telling her about a sexual experience but she doesn't know it's her son, and you're basically telling her about her son, and like she's like a massive fan. Obviously that doesn't happen yet. I'm just saying if it did happen in the book, like that would be rough, like really, really rough. But yes, again, really feeling the tension there. So I didn't know how I was going to feel going into another Nikki Sloane. And I'm like converted, completely converted. Loving what's happening, loving the characters, loving the relationships between the characters, loving the sexual tension, loving the scenes that have been written. I am here to stay. But anyway, now that I'm home, I'm gonna quickly get tidied up, and then once I've tidied up, I'm gonna like do nothing but read because I'm not making dinner tonight. So I have the freedom to do whatever I want. The only issue is, you might be able to tell because I look quite pale. I do not feel well. I feel very, very nauseous. And kind of like I might throw up. So that's not the best. But I'm hoping if I can distract myself by reading, I can ignore the nausea. In theory, theoretically, that sounds like it could work. In practice, it's probably not. but, you know, don't knock it till you've tried it. Mate. This guy just straight up ate his from her. Not mad about it though. This is completely unrelated to reading this series. But I made a TikTok last night that was like 8 seconds long, and it was a scene in the pool boy. Now, I've been on BookTube almost a year. I've been using Goodreads since 2016. Not before that, like 2014. I don't know. It was a while ago. And I've been posting bookish content on Instagram, on Facebook, pretty much any video platform. Maybe not so much Twitter, but anyway, the point. The 8-second clip that I made about cum has got like 5,000 views. So I'm sitting here thinking, am I wasting my time filming 2 hours worth of content for one video that then takes further time to edit? Seriously? An 8-second video about cum. I hate the internet. Hello guys. Okay, so I finished the pool boy, and that turned out way more wholesome than I thought it was gonna turn out. Like an actual proper love story. And I'm not saying that the Doctor wasn't a love story, okay, but I felt it more. This kind of hit different. You could really kind of feel her kind of struggle with her trust issues and the heartbreak and the betrayal from before, and work through the fact that she had these issues and accept that she could like allow Troy to love her and she could love Troy. And exceptional. Loved it. I think so. I started reading The Architect, right? And I genuinely believe that this is going to be one of those series where I end up giving a 5-star to every single book in the series. It's like the Brown Sisters all over again. I'm so happy. Loving it. Loving it so much. Right, so fucking, what's her face? Maligner. Love that wordplay, by the way. What's her name? Julie? Judy? I think it's Judy. Anyway, regardless, the nosy neighbour. Really hope to God she's not shown up in The Architect yet, but like somebody needs to fuck that woman. The audacity. Right, so it's Saturday morning. I didn't read any more of The Architect last night because we ended up with friends over, but I started reading it again this morning and I am totally vibing with Clay. Like the kind of mysterious, private, quiet type that's actually a total freak. So basically, I'm only like on chapter 4, and what's her face? Lilith, who was Cassidy from the first book's best bud, has basically found out that Clay makes like sex furniture. And right, so I was cringing really, really hard because she decides to get naked to surprise him coming home, and he like initially seems like he's really uncomfortable about it and doesn't want it, and I was like, oh no. The second-hand embarrassment was so real, but then the switch flipped really quick and he's like, this was my plan all along. And then she's expecting like punishment, but the punishment that she expects is not what she received, and he's literally just sent her away. So she's like, all wound up, ready to go, and then he's like, bye. And I really think I'm going to enjoy this. So there's not like as big an age gap as the first two books. There's still a wee bit of an age gap there, but like that's fine. I wasn't expecting an age gap like throughout the whole series. But Clay is a character I can expect to get behind. So I am off work today and tomorrow. Normally I don't get weekends off, but because of the whole like construction thing that's happening in work, we're getting the weekends off. So I'm going to finish this today. I'm determined. The thing is, this is so annoying because like it'll come up with time in my Kindle and with the reading speed that I have. And it'll tell me that a book is only going to take between 2 and 5 hours. But because I need to keep stopping and starting, whether it's because of work or things that I need to do in the house or like cooking, it's different if it's audio because I can have it like on all the time, but I'm reading it on Kindle. But it ends up that it takes me like 3 days to read a book that I should be able to read it in like the one sitting, maybe 2 sittings. Because the first book was 2 hours and 40 minutes long, supposedly. I've got lipstick on that won't come off. But it ended up taking me 3 days because I was working and then I had to go and pick the kids up, and then it's like, right, now I need to tidy the house, and then it's like, shit, it's so late, I need to make dinner. And then end up not eating because whoever's watching the kids will make them dinner. And then I'm just sitting there like, it's way too late to eat, so I'm going to go and have my self-care time, which is a bath, and then quickly snack. Also, like, I'm exhausted from work, so I keep falling asleep in the middle of reading because, like I said, the construction side of the thing, the place is basically a building site, and we're putting it all back together for reopening, which we're hoping is going to be like next week or something like that. It's going to be soon, hopefully. And where I work, I sell, like, my specialty is selling flooring of all kinds of types. So what that means is there's a lot of moving like big 6-foot rugs that are quite heavy, and like putting these hardwood samples out and pushing stands about and lifting shit. And also we had like a day of building IKEA furniture, and I'm only wee, like I'm 4'11". I am a small woman. And our warehouse is like the opposite end of the shop. So I'm carrying these big 6-foot rugs from one end of the shop to the other. I swear to God, right, no word of a lie. Yesterday, I had been in work for an hour and a half. And I had already reached like halfway through my step count for the whole day in an hour and a half. So, like, I've been really tired. It's been a week. It's been a long fortnight. But because yesterday somebody had actually said to me in work, they were like, "Oh my God, you look so tired." And I was like, "Thanks for the compliment. I feel like shit." So I'm gonna spend these 2 days off reading, having a good time, chilling, playing with the kids. It's gonna be a vibe. 2 days of vibing. I'm loving it. I'm sitting editing this, and in actual fact, I did not spend those 2 days off reading. I spent those 2 days off doing things for other people and tidying, and I'm quite salty about it. So I don't get my day of reading at any point. I have not had a day where I can exclusively read all day for ages. One day. And also, because of when they're expecting to open the shop, I get another day off on Wednesday. No, I don't. It's Tuesday. So I get 2 days off, and then I'm in on Monday, and then I'm off on Tuesday, and then I'm back in work. But it's fine because, like, I love my time off. You don't realise how much. I didn't realise. Obviously, I really enjoyed lockdown because I was, like, in the house with the children. But I didn't realise just how much I enjoyed it until I went back to work. And then I was getting home and I was like, oh, thank God. Oh. And I've completely gone off on a tangent, as usual. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to go and read this for a little while before I start cleaning. Because, you know, as I said, I've been working hard. I'm a hard-working woman, and on top of that, trying to juggle the housework and just life in general, and trying to stay mentally stable. What was I saying? I don't know. Again, with regards to staying mentally stable. My anxiety and the depression has been manageable. It's not away, obviously, because it doesn't go away, but it's been manageable. So that's an achievement, because I expected to go back to work and have a complete meltdown, but that hasn't happened. But I do appear to be going through this weird manic phase, so this energy I kind of want to keep up, but I know that when this period of like intense joy and euphoria goes away, it's going to be like a proper crash and burn. So good luck to anybody that is round about me, because I'm going to be a sad boy.
Right, I have a new resolution. Okay, sorry if you can hear BuzzFeed Unsolved in the background. It's on. I'm not making plans to read ever, because I think I'm jinxing myself. So here's what happened today. I was like, I'll clean and then I'm going to spend the whole day reading and I'm just going to vibe. And did it happen? No. It's now 9 o'clock and I've read a singular chapter, one of fucking The Architect. So that didn't happen today. So tomorrow I'm planning to have a really, really busy day. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to be able to read tomorrow. So that's the thing. So anyway, one update on the book, even though I've only read another chapter. Like, Clay is such an intriguing guy. The one thing that is disappointing me about this is because I know the premise of the book is he's away working, so he's instructing someone else on what to do to her, which I think is the case from the synopsis. I'm like wanting him, I'm wanting him and Lilith together, but I don't think that's what I'm gonna get. So I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this, if it's gonna work for your boy. So I don't know how I feel. Jury's out at this point anyway. Can I just say that I watch videos from sort of all avenues of booktube, and I have to say that genuinely the most wholesome, supportive like corner of like the bookish community are the romance community, and I'm probably being biased. All I'm seeing continuously on booktube, in discords, on Instagram, on Twitter and on book talk is just people supporting each other and defending each other. And like, I don't know if part of that comes from the fact that romance is so slighted, so when people do find each other that have that same like level of love, they're just like 100% in, ready to support each other, or if it's just we're nicer people because we love so much. I found that like there's a lot less judgmental people in that corner as well, and again it's probably due to outsiders' perspectives and judgment, particularly with regards to the content we read and assumptions people make about us, etc. But yeah, it's just so wholesome, and I'm just happy to be a part of something that is so friendly and supportive and wholesome. Because a lot of people like in real life, when I say in real life, I know these are real life people, but I mean in my personal life, like nobody strictly makes fun of me because I read romance, but they just don't get it, and they think that it's kind of like rose tinted spectacles, head in the clouds kind of like view of love, and it's like, that's not what it is. It's about watching human connection unfolding in a story, and like love is one of the most powerful emotions in the world, and love is the one emotion that can make you feel every other emotion. Do you know what I mean? I can't formulate the words currently to describe what I mean. So it's nice to know that there are people existing on the planet that feel the way that you feel and enjoy what you enjoy, and it's really sweet. Plus, like, nobody other than my sister in my personal life really reads, and other than that, the people I know that do read don't read kind of the things that I read, again apart from my sister. So it's just nice. It's just nice. It's just pleasant. It's just wholesome, and I'm just happy to be here.
I've temporarily sat down The Architect. I don't like the direction it's going in. Something's just happened and I'm kind of annoyed. Why?
Okay, so I finally finished the series. I have some issues. I thought it was going to be like a full 5-star series, and then The Architect let me down, but it also built me up in other ways. Okay, so here's my thing with The Architect. Okay, there was a way that the plot kind of meandered, and I don't like it that much, to be honest. I thought it could have been doing without it, and maybe a conflict could have been added some other way, but it happened. I didn't like it, but it was fine. So here is the real positive for me with The Architect, and more so, actually, to be honest, it's probably more with Nikki Sloane herself than specifically this book. So a lot of the time I see these smutty romances that are labelled as BDSM romances, and then when you actually read them, it's either just a vague sort of dom sub vibe, or the sadomasochism aspect of it is literally just a bit of spanking and then they move on and everybody's like, oh my god, it's so kinky, and I'm like, that's, to me personally, to other people, obviously everybody's different and perceive things in different ways, but to me that's not really kink per se. Like, it's not, to me that's not real BDSM. That's introducing a little bit of kink. But in The Architect, it was a proper dom sub dynamic, and there wasn't just some like faffing about with like spanking. There was actual focus on building trust. There was focus on consent. There were options. I don't like that they didn't really discuss safe words, but there were sort of gestures and stuff laid out to her to use if she needed to stop a scene happening. But like, there was some variety in there, you know what I mean? Like, there was the introduction of like temperature play and like actual things that induce pain that wasn't just spanking, if you know what I mean. Like, there was use of paraphernalia, and while it wasn't the most extreme example of like BDSM smut that I have read, because I have read some shit that would make your toes curl, I will be doing a recommendations video for that in the near future. What was I saying? But like, this I would label as a BDSM erotic romance, because it had more to it. It had substance to the dom sub dynamic, and also we had two dominants, but one of the dominants was also submissive to the other dominant, and it was like weird, and it was an unusual way of the relationship, the throuple, unfolding. So unfortunately, like, something was lacking in the romance department, and I think it was because that they had a lot going on. Things were kind of rushed in certain aspects. Plus, I would say about 3/4 of the book, maybe more, 4/5 maybe, was smut, which is fine, okay, completely fine. But if you're trying to build up a romance, particularly if it is a polyamorous relationship where you have 3 people's feelings to take into consideration, 3 people's character development to take into consideration, 3 lots of trust and bonding and emotions and love, you need to take your time. You can't just rush it, and I feel like that aspect of it was possibly rushed, and I don't know whether to say maybe it could have been better if it was eased up on the smut slightly, and then the romance focused on slightly more. But then I'm like, no, because I really needed all of that smut in there. So maybe the book being slightly longer, or finding a way to split it into a duology, would have been good for me. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But the series overall, would I recommend it? Yes, 100%. If you have an interest in erotic romance, if you have an interest in BDSM romance, if you have an interest in age gaps, if you have an interest in voyeurism, exhibitionism, forbidden romances, taboo romances, then all of these 3 books will satisfy your requirements. Some have more than others, obviously. So with The Doctor, I would say our main focus would be age gaps, taboo romance, forbidden romances, and then there was some impact play in there as well, a bit of role playing. I was a stan. And then with The Pool Boy, you had an age gap again, but instead of being an older man, younger woman, we had an older woman, younger man. And this was your more kind of forbidden romance between essentially co-workers. There was also a power imbalance there, because we have essentially a manager and the employee kind of vibe going on. Musicians also, a little bit of exhibitionism. There was also some backdoor stuff. Is it acceptable to say anal on YouTube? We're going for it. My hands are so shaky, oh my god. Right, okay. And with The Architect, definitely, if you like polyamorous relationships, and you like BDSM, and you are looking for a good dom sub dynamic, and are interested in a story where you have 2 doms with 1 sub, then I would say that this series is golden. I don't know why I put off reading it. I don't remember why. I don't know if it was a case I put it in my TBR pile and then just completely forgot that it existed. But The Architect had popped up on TikTok and I was like, shit, I haven't read them yet. And then I was like, right, they're going on the July TBR, and I am so unbelievably grateful that I decided to go around and read it. There were some things in there that I didn't think I had a kink for, but apparently I do. So it was eye-opening, as well as everything else. I think they would fit the one-handed read criteria. Yep. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Nashville Neighborhood series. I will be talking about them in my wrap-up. But yeah, highly, highly, highly recommend it. I think that you should read it if you haven't read it already, and if you have read it, go reread it, just simply because of how arousing it is. Also, I think in this series, from an erotic romance perspective, Dr. Lowe might be my new, like, book daddy. Also, right? And also, right, there's a scene in The Architect. It's not really a spoiler, it's just like literally one scene. It doesn't even take up a whole page. But something happens with a scale ruler. And I use a scale ruler at work every single day to make up floor plans and cutting plans and layouts of houses and all of that sort of thing. So I'm going to be holding that scale ruler every day at work, and I'm going to have flashbacks to The Architect, and it's going to be a bad time for all involved. I might even need to quit. The scale ruler might be too much. I might need to quit. I just need a specky architect, because, and that's another thing, okay, I love glasses. If I'm being perfectly honest, I would say it probably borders on a fetish, okay? And I don't mean like I look in the mirror and fancy myself because I wear glasses, but on other people. So if I see a man or a woman in glasses, I genuinely believe it makes them instantly more attractive. So yeah, if a specky architect comes to me looking for assistance on a job, that might just end my whole existence. My heart may give out, my brain may give out, my whole body might give out. So yeah, that's everything. I hope this has encouraged you to potentially pick up the books. If you haven't already picked them up, it is worth it. I highly recommend. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, your morning, your evening, whatever time it is where you are. I hope that you are thriving. If you are not thriving, that is okay. We cannot all thrive 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Practice some self-care. Give yourself a hug. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. You are amazing. Stay safe, happy reading, and I'll speak to you later. Bye!